starting a new journey. We're at a new dealership here called Paul Bluen, and it is a cool place, let me tell you. They have a Suzuki dealership, but they also have, you guessed it, a Triumph dealer. So we are here being hooked up by these good people. We're going to take the brand new Scrambler XE for a test drive. And this is the sales guy I've been dealing with. He has this Tiger and he's super excited. Here it is. Here's the bike. Shall we? We shall. All right, here it is. All right, party people, this is my first time I've ever ridden this bike. I just took it for about 10 miles. It's very cold right now. Northern New England with snow on the ground still, but cabin fever, you got to get out. And this is what we found. Now, this bike, I've got a lot of opinions about it, but I'm going to get on and ride and tell you about those as we go. I will tell you this, fit and finish, Triumph nails it out of the park every single time. Everything on this bike is well purposed, seems to be well thought out, and it feels good. So I've so far enjoyed riding. I really do like the height of this bike as well, but I am 6'4", so I'm tall. I know some of the other videos out there I've watched on this bike because I'm really thinking about getting one of these. They've been mixed as far as the height goes. I think that if you were under 6 feet, you're going to have to tippy. If you're over 6 feet, I think you'll be okay. Just my opinion. Sometimes people feel okay even at shorter heights with taller bikes just bobbling back and forth. I just don't think it's safe. So far though, this bike is cool. It looks awesome. A few cool things I really like about it is LEDs everywhere. Real handguards with aluminum, not just plastic. The display is awesome. The display is TFT as they call it, but it's got all types of different ways of selecting the way you want it to look. Heated hand grips, cruise control, little joystick thingamabob that you control the screen with, which is kind of cool. Keyless fob. So the fob you put in your pocket and you can control the bike with this little start-stop deal. So pretty awesome, pretty awesome. The brakes on this feel just like the one on my Thruxton are. They are responsive. You grab it and you can feel it. This bike feels a lot like I'm riding a dirt bike. So initially I thought when I jabbed on the brakes, I was going to have a nosedive like on a dirt bike. But these forks are like a progressive fork. So they really do a good job at not throwing you over the handlebars. They say this bike can handle off-road. So that's what I wanted to do. I pulled into a little driveway here just to spin it around, but there's too much snow and it's too muddy. I don't want to break this bike. It's not mine. The guy that's letting me borrow it's probably going to watch this video, so I don't want to get in trouble. But anyways, cool deal. Let's get on the bike. We'll give it a ride. This little deal here, you just push down on it. It's got that classic offset 270 crank. I'll tell you though, the exhaust is super quiet. I thought it would have been louder. I should know this by now. Triumph is always giving us the very quiet bikes right from the factory. But we can fix that, can't we? Yes! All right. Let's not destroy this bike. Let's stall it. You know what it is? It's traction control. Traction control is making me stop. There's a way to get around that. Sport, off-road. There we go. Traction control off. There we go. Actually, that's pretty good. Okay, let's put it back into the mode. See, I just used the blinker. It's kind of annoying. I'm going to put it in sport because I did not have it in sport before. I had it in road mode. It says the ABS is disabled. Alright. Oh, what a difference. This bike just came alive. Wow. That's cool. Alright. Well, here we are. We're riding. I'll try not to sound like a total idiot. So as you can see, the riding position is upright. My arms are not straight out. They're bent about, I don't know, maybe like 60 degrees. The bike riding position being upright like this is a lot of wind in your face. But again, that's an adventure bike that's naked. There's no windshield or anything on it. Now, bikes are pretty bad up here if they don't have good suspension because the roads are so rough. And that is what intrigues me about this bike so much, is that the suspension is designed like a dirt bike. So driving on this road right now, as you can hear, it's a little bit bumpy, and this bike seems to be handling it just fine. This bike actually cruises too. We're at 55 miles an hour. It's turning 3 grand on the tack. I'm in 6th gear. It is rather nippy out, so I enjoy these heated handle grips. We got the grips on full tilt right now, and it's warming up my hands pretty nice. And the bike's very responsive. I like to call it flickable. It's got that light, top-heavy, almost type feeling to it, but it's not as bad as the Tiger 1200 that I had. The 1200 was very top-heavy. This bike does not feel that way at all, even when I just turned it around there. Oh good, now I'm going to get wet. Even when I just turned it around there in the mud and the slush, it did not feel like the Tiger wanted to always tip over. This bike didn't have that feeling at all. Very stable. I'd really like to give this thing a spanking right now, but there's like 5 miles on it, and the break-in period tells us we're really not supposed to do too hard. So I don't really want to, but I can feel it's got some really good torque, which is in line because the 1200 that's on the Thruxton feels the same way. It's got that low-down grunt, which is kind of nice. There's like 0 vibration in the bars either, which is super cool. I don't feel the buzzing. The Triumph, you kind of feel a little more, the Thruxton rather, because you're leaning down on the bars. So I kind of like that. This is nice. Again, the bumps, this thing soaks them up pretty good. Pretty good. The other thing I mentioned about the riding position, because you're upright, I think this will be better for longer rides than the Thruxton because you're not leaned over. And the foot pegs are right directly below me. So my leg is, at that 90-degree pitch. This is very similar to the Speed Triples. It's got that almost a very similar feel to it. And it smells like a brand new bike. I love that. Is it on fire smell? Now, the guy at the dealership said I could not change mode while in gear, but this seems to be just fine. It doesn't seem to care. There is a very busy road here. And my shield is completely fogged up. It's about 30 degrees outside right now, which is fantastic weather to go ride a motorcycle in. Yeah! Traffic. What's the horn sound like? Sounds like a Triumph horn. As you can see, my feet are planted firmly on the ground. I do have like about a 2-inch to spare, so being 6'4", I think if you were 6 foot, it'd be just fine. Here we go. And there's a cop right here, so I really got to be good. And we're back at the dealer. Sorry, I would take you on a longer ride, but I can't feel my extremities. Just give you an idea if you jam on the brakes. See, it does have a little bit of dip. Not too bad though, not too bad. Not as bad as a dirt bike. Wicked snappy torque though. You gotta love it. What's up? I think there's a spot right here. Haha, there is. Look at them action. And there it is. Kickstand down. So, and I think you double tap again. Yep, that's how you shut it off. Huh, good evening, rider. So again, here's the bike. Uh-oh, it might be in trouble for that. Pretty good, pretty nimble on everything. As far as the off-road capabilities go, again, not my bike. Didn't want to go crazy, but from what I could feel, it felt really good. Very responsive once I figured out that traction control was on and I wasn't going to stall it. Anything I don't like about this bike, because I don't want to be Mr. Gusher. What is up with all of the aluminum finishes, Triumph? Can we murder things out just a smidge? The cans are humongous, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 5 different shades of aluminum on this bike. I don't understand that. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty nice. LED headlight too. It's not at nighttime, so I don't know if that's going to be as good as my Thruxton was, but that was absolutely horrible in high beam. So we'll have to see how this works. All right, well, stay tuned. Maybe this goes home with me if the price is right.